Hi everyone, welcome to Art with Miss Lynn. Today we are going to create a collage. We are going to make a collage of a kite scene. So here are the materials that we need. Different kinds of blue color background paper and some white paper, and then a lot of different colored scrap paper that you can find if you have. Either they could be kind of pattern paper or just regular construction paper. You can always add your own patterns in a little bit. So choose the background first. Well, we also need scissors and glue, and I have some markers here for decorating. So let's see which color you would like to use for your background. So I'm going to use a light blue. We are going to start with the background, which is the sky. And here's how we are going to create the sky. Let's make some clouds. One fast and quick way to make a few different clouds is to fold your paper into maybe 4 sheets like this. Okay, you fold it 2 times and then it becomes 4. So if you need help sketching out the cloud, you can do that first. Right? You can draw out the cloud, the type of cloud you like to draw, puffy or kind of like oval. So that's up to you. And then you can cut it out. And once you do that, you will have a few clouds in an instant. Right? This is the fast way to do that. Now let's say you want to make the cloud different size. Then you can always cut out one of them to make them a little bit smaller. Right? So now I have these 4 clouds here. Let's say I don't want them to be all the same size, right? Then you can just quickly change it. You can just cut down 1 or 2, quickly change the shape a little bit, right? So they look different. But some of you might want to use the same thing, and that's totally fine. I'm going to cut out 2 of them to make them look a little different. Right, so this one is not as puffy. Now that I have these clouds, I'm going to arrange it and see where I like to put them. So you can see some of them a little higher. Some could be even show up like on the side. It could be off the page like that, which is a more interesting placement. Not everything has to be right in the middle and inside the paper. Right, so like that. Let's glue these 2 down. Maybe you want to think about if you want them to be closer or even overlapping. Right, one on top of another. One is closer, one is further away. So make your artist's choice. And then with my construction paper with the yellow, I could create a sun in the sky. So we want the kite to be floating on a sunny day. So let's do that. So make a circle. Let's keep it simple. So let's glue the sun. Maybe it's coming out behind the cloud like this. Okay, since the glue didn't dry up yet, so I can quickly push it in the back. And here we have a simple background. And then you can also add more if you like. Now let's start with the kite. So I have these different kind of paper here. We are going to use the diamond shape. So look at your paper. If you have already a straight edge like that, then you can just kind of cut out the shape like this. If I just use the corner of my red paper, right? And I already have a diamond shape. But some of you might not see that yet. So again, you can always sketch it out. If you have a sharp corner, use the corner of the paper because you already have 2 straight lines. Then what I have to do is just draw a V like that. And then when I cut it out, that's the diamond. And here's another way to do that. I can use the corner and draw a straight line down this way, and then horizontally like that. Right, so letter T, and then I can connect these two corners. I think this way you will see it better. Right, so we cut this out, and then here we go. Think about if you want to make a lot of kites, how would you use the paper to create a lot of kites at once? Just like what we did with the cloud, right? So here's an example. You can always fold your paper. If you still need help drawing the kite, right, you can sketch it out. Okay, diamond shape. And then if I cut this together, then I have two. So there are many ways to, you can think about how to create your artwork, create multiple shapes faster like that. Right? So far I have 5. Let me think about maybe adding one more. Trying different size. Let's make it a long one. Long and pointy one like that. And once you have these shapes ready, think about where you want to, again, arrange it in a way that seems interesting. With collage, we talk about overlapping the composition, which is where you place the subjects on your paper. I have a blue one that I could use, but it's not the same blue as the background paper, so it's fine. If it's the same color, then it will be kind of hard to see. So let me use that one too. Here we go. So let's say I want to arrange it like this. Maybe one in front of another. Or make one of them smaller than the other. The smaller kites will look like it's further away, maybe higher in the sky. Right? Like that. Now there's two ways to approach at this point. You can either continue gluing now that you have arranged it, or you can quickly add a bit of pattern and more designs onto the kite before you glue it down. Right? So I would do the pattern first. And sometimes when I use the glue and glue it down, it's going to be wet and kind of bumpy. It will be hard to draw it up. So let's quickly add a few designs on this before we glue this down. And I think it's best if you take these off and sketch it on the side, or have another paper if you tend to draw outside the lines. Some simple designs. Right, like that. Maybe you can even adjust some kind of character on it, so to make it look interesting. Okay, one more. Let's finish this one. So now I have some interesting pattern to make the kite look not as plain as before. Right? Then I could arrange it back and then start gluing. So when you're using glue, we're not using too much, not too much to the edge, or else they will stick out. So a little bit of glue in the middle, just like this. And then after we glue these down, we can add some more detail, or the string. The string would be done by using just the marker, because it's very, very thin, so it would be hard to cut with paper. So I have two more. Let's make this one overlapping. This one is kind of together, but one is in front of another. Right, so and then a small one further up. Okay, so if you have scrap paper, you can definitely try to add more detail to the kite using paper. So for example, I could do something like this to add the string, well, not the string, but kind of like a tail. Keep it somewhat wavy, not straight. So cut out a small little curve like this. And then for smaller items, I would use the glue onto the paper before I put onto the small little detail like this, right? If you got glue on your hand, rub, 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 it will come right off. So let me do that for this one also. So it has a little interesting tail like this. This one is somewhat straight. Right. Let's do one more. Since I have a curve here, just make a curve onto like this and like that. Just add some glue. Right. And then with this, we're almost done. One last step is to draw the strings. So using any kind of color, something dark that you can see it, we can draw the strings, kind of connecting. Corners sometimes might be popping out, so you might want to add a little bit more glue. Now if your glue is not dry, don't draw on it, or else it will dry it off your marker. So make sure it's kind of dried first, and then you can add the string, kind of going like that. Right, for these big ones, I'm going to make the string kind of coming out from the middle. So that's why we have this cross. And then the long string, right? This one will be behind, so it's coming out behind the blue. And then one more. Like that, right? So a quick and fun, simple collage of the kites. I hope you have fun making yours. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.